So, and on the stamp thing, by the way, which I never realized until I was sitting here right now with my 9-year-old and John's talking about collecting stamps, he actually doesn't understand how the postal system works. And it's amazing because at his age, I understood stamps and I was sending letters when you'd meet a friend. We were just on vacation and he just met a new friend, and what do? They exchange numbers and they've been texting. So it's just an interesting sort of thing that just kind of like came into now my purview, which I never really thought about, which is that he doesn't really understand how the postal system works. So I'm glad I got to bring him to this conference to teach him how the postal system works. So just on Ring, I call this the mission to disruption. Ring was a very missionary company around reducing crime in neighborhoods. It started in my garage in 2011. I was actually had a lab called Edison Jr., which I was trying to build a whole bunch of stuff, definitely not a doorbell at the time. One of my big inventions that never worked was called Snap Garden. It was a modular gardening system that you could put together on your patio and grow different things. Again, never worked. But luckily the garage was way back in the sort of the back of the house. The front door was in the front, separated, and the wireless doorbells wouldn't reach there. I didn't have cell service. And anyone that came to the house, I couldn't, if I was working in the garage, I couldn't hear them. I couldn't get packages, things like that. So I thought, why wouldn't there be a doorbell that would go to my phone? It just seemed like an obvious thing. I looked online, there wasn't one. And so what do you do when you're in your garage and there's no doorbell that goes to your phone? You build one. So this was the first doorbell that went on my house. At the time, Ollie was 3 years old. Typically, my spouse, my wife, would have shot me for putting that on. It was like, I think that's the actual size. So typically, like, that's not going to go very well on the front of your house, the HAL 9000. But my wife actually said that it made her feel safer at home, and that it was one of the best things I ever built. Again, at the time, I didn't think that was the nicest thing to say because I was trying to invent this Snap Garden that didn't work. But it was that's what really got us around this idea that the front door is not, it really did change security in terms of when we say our mission is to reduce crime in neighborhoods, it's actually to stop crime, to prevent crime before it happens. And Ring, which was started with this doorbot, really is the first product line that ever attacked it in that way. And I'm not smart enough to have set out to build that. I was smart enough to get lucked into it and then listen to my wife. And that's really the difference of Ring and all the products and everything that we've done since 2011. It's all about preventative and actually pushing, stopping, and really pre-crime versus what sort of all security systems have been, which is a event happens and then the alert goes out, but event has already happened. Oh, we don't. Do we have sound?
On ABC Shark Tank.
Because all burglars ring the doorbell first.
Here, we'll try to go. Can we turn that up just a skosh?
Doorbot was even featured on ABC Shark Tank.
Because all burglars ring the doorbell first.
You know what, though, Mark? That's actually true. Burglars are not usually violent criminals. They want to see if someone's home. They want the opportunity to go into a house that does not have people in it. So it's actually true. People do ring the door.
So I made it on Shark Tank. I got to tell Mark Cuban, which was fun, in no uncertain terms, that we actually could prevent a crime before it happens. And then the Mrs. QVC that's on there, who was laughing as well, told me that we would never be able to sell it on Shopping TV, which we certainly sold it on Shopping TV. So Shark Tank led to, it was really our big break. I was still in the garage at the time. That was November of 2013 that I was on Shark Tank, and we were literally still in my garage at that point. So about 4.5 years ago, I was still in my garage. There was 3 people building a doorbell almost by hand. Since then, we've increased the product line. So we have 4 different sort of front entry doorbell products. We also have a full suite of camera products. Again, we've always looked at the outside of the house. So we always say we're kind of like turning security system inside out. So we have a bunch of cameras that have lights. Our floodlight cam has been a big additional sort of thing to the reducing crime in neighborhoods, because what turns out when you turn light on, it also scares people. And so when you have the light and camera and everything in one. And it's all DIY. So the other part about Ring is it's effective and affordable security. So the idea being that it's really security for everyone. It's not supposed to be sort of so expensive that it's just for a certain segment of the market. We're in over 16,000 stores today. As you heard, we've had maybe a big deal happen that's in the process. So it's been a pretty interesting run, over 2,000 people. So again, just go back 4.5 years, and we were 3 people in a garage. So the growth was sort of unbelievable. It's why my son travels with me when he's off from school, because otherwise I don't see him, it's the truth. He also learns about stamps. I don't know, he ran out. But you know, I mean, it's been really a hell of a ride. Every time I kind of do this and talk about this, for me, it's amazing to be up here saying this to you guys, because I still don't see how this all happened, but somehow it did.
Hi, my name is Yasi. I'm brand manager at Ring. We're really excited to head out to the Wilshire Park neighborhood and install some rings.
This small community, which is maybe a half-a-mile radius, is actually hit with over 1 burglary every other week. We're going to try to get a large percentage of the homes here to actually have rings on them.
Who's here to install your ring?
With the hope that if we're able to have enough cameras in the neighborhood and work with the police, that we can actually reduce the crime in this community. So with this doorbell, you can see and talk to anyone at your front door from anywhere.
Whoa.
So we went around different houses and talked to the customers, showed them how to use the device, installed it for them.
Pretty cool experience. Some of the customers, the way they reacted, it was unbelievable.
Thank you very much. The whole neighborhood is really excited about this.
In Los Angeles, police revealing a 6-month pilot program using the tool helped reduce burglaries in one neighborhood by more than 50%.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being here. Compared to the same time the previous year, that particular neighborhood had a significant reduction in burglaries, approximately 55%.
When I founded Ring about 5 years ago in my garage in Los Angeles, it was with the idea of reducing crime in neighborhoods. Today we're a 250-person team that's around that idea.
Now to keeping your home safe, a high-tech gadget is having high-yield results when it comes to catching criminals.
A doorbell camera bringing right to your phone, catching potential thieves on camera from Nevada to California to Tennessee.
Police in Los Angeles say they are helping keep criminals away.
So that was, we did, as part of this whole, we're going to reduce crime in neighborhoods, I think I got laughed at for that one from investors for the first 2 years. And we decided, through that, luckily we're based in Los Angeles and the LAPD was there, and so we ended up doing it. It took us almost 2.5 years from start to finish to get this whole program to go through. The actual sort of test was 6 months, but as some of you that have worked with governmental people know, like there's a lot of stuff to sort of put together there. And so that was a really sort of, I say that's probably one of our best moments in the company, was really proving that our products could reduce crime in neighborhoods. We've now seen it since then in really all across the world. The amount of arrests we do per week off of Ring, it's actually staggering now at this point. So we're in the local news probably every day somewhere. It's a pretty incredible thing. And we also got to have some fun with it. At Ring, we have over 1 million happy customers. And today I brought one to help me install some more.
Let's get to work, Jamie.
Let's do this.
Let's make these neighborhoods safe.
We proved at the LAPD that having 10% of the homes with Rings, we're able to reduce crime by 50% in the neighborhood.
Who is it?
It's Shaq and Jamie, ma'am.
I feel old.
So Shaq and I just put this up for you. They got a new camera, floodlight, motion detection. Here's the view from it.
Great teamwork.
How you like the floodlight cameras?
I like it.
I want to see the whole yard.
That's perfect. There we go.
Nice little speakers. What you got on there?
It's fantastic. The picture. I can see him. I can see everything that's going on. It's awesome. I can be anywhere and see who comes to my door.
Look at that, Shaq. The whole backyard. You can see
look
now.
at that. That's nice.
Isn't that beautiful?
Shaq, I see you and Jamie.
We've been busted. It works. I love making neighborhoods safe. We're always home, baby.
So what do you do if you're a kid from Jersey and you have the ability to hire Shaq? You do it. So So he's been really fun to work with. Shaq also, it's a little known thing, but he's a cop in a police officer in Los Angeles, New Orleans, and Florida. And he went through the full program in all 3 states. So pretty incredible guy from a sort of a police and neighborhood and crime and safety side. So it's been a really on-brand and fun thing to have Shaq involved. And I'll just end with, while we're sort of taking your lunchtime, you know, Ring, again, around this mission of reducing crime in neighborhoods, you know, we started out with I'd say a lofty goal with a few guys in a garage, built it now into what's become a successful business, but also what's more exciting for all of us is the impact that we've been able to have on neighborhoods. And we look forward to the future impact that we're able to have on neighborhoods and on the crime that happens around neighborhoods, some of which affects this group, some of which affects us just in our normal daily lives, but really making neighborhoods safer, because we believe that safer neighborhoods will result in kids that grow up in areas that are better for them, which will result in having better people as they grow up and get older. You know, our environment is a lot of times what sort of dictates who we are. And so, you know, I remember growing up with, you know, people always ask me, like, what's the real thing? Did you get burglarized when you were, you know, younger or something? And it's actually no. I just grew up in a really safe neighborhood that I didn't have to lock my doors. I rode my BMX bike around, went to my friend's house, threw the bike in the front yard, walked into their house. And I think that's something that's been taken away from most neighborhoods now at this point. And so we hope that through technology, we can also help to sort of bring that back. And I think we're already starting to do that. So thank you guys, and really excited to be a part of this group and to be here. And hopefully in the future, I can add a little more to it. So thanks.